In the ever-expanding search for energy, humanity has always looked beyond the fire, beyond fossil fuels, beyond even the atom. But what lies far beyond? What would energy harvesting look like if our reach extended across space to the heart of our solar system itself, the Sun? Imagine a structure so vast, so powerful, that it could capture the full energy output of a star. A machine of such scale and sophistication that it would make every power plant on Earth seem like a campfire in comparison. A structure not on a planet, but surrounding a star. This is the Dyson Sphere, one of the most ambitious and speculative concepts in all of science and engineering. First proposed as a thought experiment, it has become a symbol of advanced civilization and technological godhood. But what does science actually say about Dyson spheres? Could such a structure really work? And how exactly would it harvest the unimaginable energy of a star? The story begins not with engineers, but with a visionary, British-American theoretical physicist and mathematician Freeman Dyson. In 1960, Dyson published a short paper titled Search for Artificial Stellar Sources of Infrared Radiation. It was an idea not for building something today, but for what we might look for when searching for advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. His reasoning was simple and profound. A truly advanced society, what we might call a Type II civilization on the Kardashev scale, would eventually need far more energy than any planet could provide. Where better to turn than to the source of nearly all energy in a solar system, the star itself. Dyson proposed that such a civilization might construct a vast shell or swarm of objects surrounding their star, capturing its radiant energy for use. He suggested that if such structures existed elsewhere in the universe, they might be detectable not by visible light, but by the heat they would emit in the infrared spectrum. Thus, the Dyson Sphere was born, not as a construction blueprint, but as a tool for astrophysical detection. A thought experiment, a clue. But in time, it became something more, a symbol of ultimate engineering ambition. But let's step away from the science fiction and ask a more grounded question. Could it work? And if so, how? First, we need to define what we mean by a Dyson sphere. In popular imagination, it's often shown as a solid shell, a giant metal ball encasing the sun. But such a structure would be gravitationally unstable, impossible to construct with any known material, and would require more mass than exists in the inner solar system. A more scientifically realistic version is called a Dyson Swarm, a vast collection of satellites, mirrors, or collectors orbiting the star, working together to intercept solar radiation. Each collector would be positioned at a distance similar to Earth's orbit, around 1 astronomical unit, or 150 million kilometers. This swarm wouldn't form a continuous surface, but over time, with enough components, it could absorb a significant portion of the star's energy output. Now consider the scale. The sun outputs approximately 3.8x 10 superscript 2 watts, more energy in a single second than humanity has used in its entire history. Capturing even a fraction of that energy would revolutionize civilization. How would these collectors work? Most likely, they would use photovoltaic systems, much like solar panels, to convert sunlight directly into electricity. This energy could be stored, transmitted wirelessly, or used to power enormous data centers, manufacturing facilities, or computation platforms. But there are challenges, monumental challenges. First, the materials. To build even a modest Dyson Swarm, we would need trillions of solar-collecting satellites and the raw material to build them. Earth alone does not have enough resources. Instead, we would need to mine the moon, asteroids, or even disassemble entire planets, such as Mercury, to obtain enough metal, silicon, and other elements. This concept is known as astroengineering or planetary dismantling. Then comes the issue of automation. No human workforce could manage a project of this magnitude. We would need self-replicating factories, robotic systems that can build more of themselves, harvest local resources, and expand exponentially. This is not entirely science fiction. Early concepts of von Neumann probes or autonomous manufacturing already exist in theoretical engineering. But the biggest problem might be energy transmission. Let's say we've built a Dyson Swarm. We're capturing energy. Now what? How do we get that energy back to where it's needed, whether that's Earth, space colonies, or computation hubs? One proposal is wireless power transmission using microwave beams or laser energy. Collectors convert sunlight to electricity, then to electromagnetic radiation, which is beamed across space to receiving stations, known as rectennas, which then convert it back to usable power. This concept is already being tested on small scales here on Earth, under the umbrella of space-based solar power. But transmitting energy at the scale of a Dyson Swarm raises safety and efficiency concerns. Even a slight misalignment in a high-energy beam could cause catastrophic damage. Power loss over vast distances is also non-trivial, and the synchronization of trillions of independent satellites introduces staggering complexity. And then there's thermal management. The sun emits not only light, but vast amounts of heat. A Dyson Swarm would need to radiate excess energy to avoid overheating, which means every satellite must be equipped with radiators and cooling systems, further complicating design. Beyond the engineering, there are philosophical and ethical questions. What happens when a civilization starts taking apart planets? What would be the social, economic, and political implications of building something that requires planetary-scale resource consumption? A Dyson Sphere would mark the transformation of a species from a planetary civilization to a stellar one. It would be the ultimate energy transition, not just sustainable energy, but stellar energy harnessed at will. Such a civilization would have the power to simulate entire universes, terraform worlds, or even perform astroengineering on other stars. And if someone has already done it, that's where the search for extraterrestrial intelligence comes in. Dyson originally proposed his sphere as a method for detection. A working Dyson sphere, especially a full or partial one, would block visible light from its host star and re-emit energy as infrared radiation. Astronomers have scanned the skies for anomalies like this, dimming stars or stars that radiate heat but not visible light. In 2015, scientists detected a peculiar star, KIC 846-2852, better known as Tabby's star. It exhibited unusual, irregular dimming that couldn't be explained by planets, dust, or known astrophysical processes. While a Dyson sphere was a fringe hypothesis, the excitement showed how real the idea had become in scientific thought. In the end, the mystery of Tabby's star was attributed to natural causes, but the search continues. So, where do we stand today? We are not building a Dyson sphere tomorrow, or next century, but the principles behind Dyson energy harvesting are guiding modern innovations. Space-based solar power, autonomous manufacturing, asteroid mining, and energy beaming technology are already in development. Slowly, piece by piece, the seeds of Dyson-level engineering are being planted. In time, perhaps centuries from now, humanity may become a species not bound by the limits of Earth or even the limits of the Sun. We may become architects of orbits, crafters of artificial ecosystems, harvesters of stars,